it struck me at that, it's much easier, or it's seemingly much easier to report a story, as you're saying, if you have kind of an idea of what the story, it's about tube tops are awesome, and then you go report that. But then how do you approach reporting a story if, in this case, as you sort of start to realize that it's not maybe going to turn out how you think, it's not going to be about this particular guy, and you were, maybe, I wonder if you can tell us a little bit about how you were down there for 2 years reporting, and how did you decide sort of what to look for, in the absence of an obvious, centerpiece? Like, how did you decide what you were going to do that day when you woke up in the morning?
That's actually a very relevant question, because there were times when I'd wake up and think, I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to be figuring out this story. And very often the way I look at it, and this helps me in that sort of existential crisis of thinking, how am I coming to understand this story? I really look at this process as having two distinct components. One is the reporting stage, where I'm a student. And like any student, my task is just to learn. So I'm writing a story about John LaRoche. I need to learn about Florida and Florida history. I need to learn about orchids. I need to learn about his life story. I need an education on all of the components of the story. And so even though I wake up in the morning and there's no particular event to follow, that day I can think to myself, I need to learn more about the Seminoles because they're important in this story. So I'm going to go to the reservation and just wander, talk to people, learn. The second part of the process is where I become a teacher. And I take everything I learned as a student and try to synthesize it and teach the reader about what I learned. And that involves selecting. But during the reporting, I just feel like I need, so much of it never ends up in the book because it's never meant to end up in the book. But I feel like I can't write about going to the Seminole Roundup unless I've done a lot of homework already to learn about the background of the Seminoles in Florida. And while I'm doing that background, I'm never quite sure, and there are times where I think, why am I doing this? But it's to educate myself so that at the end of the day, I could tell you the whole book coming from real knowledge and not off of notes.